Here's an unboxing and assembly video for the Aventon Aventure. Just got it out of the box. Comes in a big old box, pretty heavy. UPS guy carried it by himself. He's a better man than I. There's all the styrofoam and packaging. I hope I never have to try to put back on the bike. Here are my bike tools. Here's what comes with the Aventon bike. And it's got the charger, it's got the things you need to put the reflectors on, the pedals. Here's kind of a nice touch. They've got a spare parts bag, and in the spare parts bag is a derailleur hanger. I'm really thrilled about that. That's going to save me a lot of trouble sometime in the future. Also, it came with a couple of extra tools. You got a pedal wrench, which is going to be handy for the future. It came with a little multi-tool. It's got all the Allen wrenches you're going to need, plus a flathead, and a little bit of bike grease. First thing I'm going to do is take the brake block out of the front disc brake, and I'm going to put the front wheel on because it's not a light bike, and I don't want it up on the stand anymore than it needs to be. I'm going to tighten these bolts to 5 Newton meters in a crisscross pattern, you know, like upper right, lower left, lower right, upper left. I've tightened all the bolts for the handlebars. Got them kind of tangle-like, and I like them down just a little bit. And then I checked the tightness of all the bolts on the stem. Next up, I just tightened up the front hub. That took a 15 millimeter wrench, which they do provide, but it was kind of off just a touch. I found that the other end of this wrench worked a little bit better for it than the one that they give you, a 15 millimeter socket. So the next thing to do is to just get the brakes dialed in. If you look closely, you can see that this one's a little bit off to the side there, or it's rubbing one brake pad a little more than the other. So I'm going to adjust that by loosening these two 5 millimeter bolts and getting that lined up in the center. Some people say that you can...
I'm a bit of a moron.
Loosen these bolts.
I'd forgotten when I made this video that I have a tool that I'm going to link here that helps with brake centering.
There we go, that's dialed in. You got a little daylight on each side. I can't show this and film at the same time, but what you want to be able to do is pick up the wheel, spin it, and watch it keep spinning. Did the same thing tightening the rear brake caliper after centering it over the disc, and got some nice daylight there. You're going to need a longer Allen wrench for this one. Okay, so here's about the first problem I've had installing this. I've bent them back a little bit, but when I spun the rear wheel during shipment, the back fender got smooshed a bit. So I'm kind of having to straighten the rear fender guides by hand. It's no big deal. They're not structural. They're just there to keep mud off your butt. So straighten them out as best you can and get some clearance for the tire. So we've got the right and left pedals here. I'm going to go ahead and put them on, use the wrench that they gave us in the kit. Notice I got a dollop of grease on each one once I'm done filming, because I don't want to get that on my camera. I'm going to run that grease around the threads so that when the time comes to change out the pedals, I can get them back off. Note that the left side goes in lefty-tighty, not righty-tighty. Got the back wheel spinning smoothly. Mostly just continuing to adjust the brake pads until they are centered. Then the derailleur did not come tuned. It's kind of impossible for it to come tuned. But you want it to be able to go up and down all the gears smoothly. You know, click up once, goes up once, click down once, it goes down once. I'm not going to teach you how to do this and that because I am not skilled enough. There are many better videos out there than mine. Okay, so I'm about to go on the first ride for my wife. I've ridden it a bit. It's awfully nice. Now I'm going to take her and show her how it works. A couple nice things while we wait. Got the battery key here, and what that does is that pops out the entire battery. So the battery is integrated with the unit. I really like that.
Here's a pickup video I decided to do after because I missed a couple of things. This is a handlebar extension I put in because the missus likes to sit up a little higher, a little straighter when she rides, so it's more like a cruiser bike. But we have some pretty steep hills and gravelly trails around here. I wanted to get the fat bike so that she could ride on those with me. She has, and she really likes it. This is the interface, and before you start the bike, you have to prime the battery here. You gotta press a button. What you're gonna watch me do is not press the button correctly. So I pressed the button, and I tried to turn it on. It didn't turn on. Sorry about the dust on the screen there for those of you who are retentive about such matters. So I had to press the button again, go back up, press the power button over on the left side off camera, and then the screen comes on. When you look through the screen, you've got a couple of interesting little statistics that it'll spit out there. You notice it says assist. The assist goes from 1 to 5. Then it's also got a menu for clearing things and standard features and connecting to an app. Connecting to the app, you scan a code, and it tells you pretty much what you see on the screen here. There's nothing extra in the app itself. But the interface is good, works pretty well.
Here she is, riding on by.
I'm going 9 miles an hour.
There you go.
Muffins.
There you go. All right, I'll see you at the corner. Look great.
There it is, the Aventon Aventure fat bike electric bike. My wife really likes it. We get a lot of compliments on the color. It has a monster battery, which I can't imagine will ever wear down in a single ride, or 2, or 3 rides. It's well built, well designed, has good components, and I especially like the cable management. I hope this video has helped you decide whether or not to buy it, and if you buy it, whether or not to put it together yourself. Enjoy the ride.